Welcome everybody to Auto Club Speedway. Got a good race for you today. This race is brought to you by our sponsor is
Itchy Kitchen Shop.
Yep, and the race is the Crafty 200. Got 100 laps for you here at Auto Club Speedway. As y'all know, this track is purely based on draft, speed, and patience. Well, 2 for 3 is not bad. Patience seems to evade everybody. But I'm in the booth with my good friend here. Got Mr. English in the booth. How's it going, Mr. English?
Good, man. Looking forward to a good race tonight. We did see on Monday kind of a preview of what we would see here as we had the Xfinity race at Auto Club Speedway. And most of the night, I think we're focusing on you and Davey Hendricks swapping back and forth up in front. That was a pretty fun race to watch with you guys battling it out up there so much. It was a lot of fun to watch that part of it. But yeah, hopefully we get some more of that kind of good close racing action here, and it's not all just strung out single file. And we've seen that happen here before, you know, but these guys are going to be racing the racetrack as much as they're racing the other drivers because tire wear is definitely going to be an issue. But yeah, man, looking forward to this one.
For sure. And then we got our pit analyst. Sorry for the stutter. Mr. Adam Turner. What's it looking like down there?
Man, it's California, so it's pretty fast. It's a 2-mile track, 100 laps. I don't know in English. In Louisiana, that's 200 miles still, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so 0 fast repairs, 80% fuel, unlimited tires. So we had a 55-minute qualification, so you got plenty of time to rip some laps. Right now, it's looking like Greg Klein has the fastest lap. I think he might be tied with Maury. That's interesting. Pit road speed is 55 miles an hour. That could become an issue if we have some green flag pit stops. But this is the first race of the playoffs, so you want to get your points now.
Oh, for sure. With the way the racing's been, it's been close, it's been action packed, and I believe we also have stages. So that would be another thing to look forward to. As I see here that I'm having technical difficulty with my SDK, so I apologize for that for some not wanting to load. But as we were saying, this track, it's interesting. You're gonna see a lot of people start off kind of at the bottom, but as the tires start wearing in, you're gonna see them start running the higher line just to get the better run off of the corner. Now, we saw in the Xfinity race, like you were mentioning, how it really was me and Davey. We mostly stuck to the bottom, and the reason for that was the cars were having a hard time turning. I'm not sure if it was because of the way the track was, or the temperatures. So it'll be interesting to see how these cars handle, whether they're able to make the move on the higher side. Because if they're able to do that, this track is going to widen a big margin.
Yeah, the temperature, I think there's a huge difference tonight. It's 67 degrees. I think it was a little hotter for the Xfinity race here.
95 degrees, I think, during the Xfinity race.
Yeah, should have a little bit more grip. And Xfinity cars, let's be honest, those are very tough cars to handle. Y'all did a great job.
And I think that was a day race, wasn't it? This one is in the evening, looks like. So
it was around the same time. We started off in the day, and then the lights came on. It just seemed like the Xfinity cars did not want to turn at all. It was just tight. So I was forced to stay on the bottom, but I'm already seeing that there's a few guys already running that higher line here in practice with Ethan Flynn and Justin Malarkey already up there. So hopefully this should be some really good racing.
What really is the advantage of that? Is it just getting a better run off the corner? You're carrying more momentum through the turns? Is that the kind of the strategy behind that, running real high line like that?
So when you run the high line, what you're able to do is kind of drive it in a little deeper. You don't have to get on the brakes so much earlier. And then you're able to get back to the throttle sooner. And if you're able to do it right, because if you mess it up, you're ending up in that wall. Um, you're able to just get a solid runoff, holding the momentum, and all those things just turn into just a monster run down the backstretch.
Well, it looks like our stage breaks are going to be at lap 50 and at lap 95. 50 and 95. This is a 100-lap race. So we're going to have a restart with probably, what, 3 or 4 to go, I guess? 3 to go?
That's interesting. I didn't know we were doing that. That's like a all-out shootout at the end.
Unless it's changed, that's what's on the schedule.
Well,
If that's the
everything's
case,
subject to change.
if that's the case, if they go on a caution lap 95, you might be looking at like an unofficial green-white checkered, because it takes about 2 or 3 laps for pace laps. That might be the case in this situation. So it really will be a battle.
Well, we already got people chiming in on YouTube. Farmer Joe's Chickens. That's Joe Archer down there, the driver of the number 56 machine, with his Facebook page and YouTube sponsor on there. Rebecca Smith is on there joining us. Thomas Stanley, Richard Gray, and Yappa J says Gary Sachs. Gary Sachs is great, I guess. Looks like we're getting ready to grid this thing up, boys. Y'all ready to do a little rundown here?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Stealing the pole away from Greg Klein and Tabor Mowry is the 73 driver of the 73, Justin Malarkey. He'll be starting inside row 1 on his outside, the 92 of Greg Klein. Tabor Mowry and Tony Fry will make up row number 2. Angel Hernandez in the 42 will be inside row 3, with Derek Schimmel in the 96 starting to his outside. Row number 4 looks like this is going to be the 70 of Stephen McComas, and outside of him, the 35 of Ethan Flanagan. Row number 5, and rounding out your top 10, is the 11 of Andrew Cobe and the 60 of Alan Kewins.
All right, there in that looks like 11th position, the number 10 of Matt Forns out of North Carolina, currently in Washington. 97 of Connor Darnell sitting there in 12th. 56, our Canadian buddy Joe Archer, the Chicken Man, 13th. 26 of Michael Buckley, it's up here 14th. 110, Richard Gray, Michelob Gray, the oldest driver in iRacing, set in 15th. 89 of Gary Sack the third, Mr. Michigan there, in the Buddies Ford, set in 16th position. 84 of Mike Hornbeck in 17th. Looks like Justin Barkley just set out qualification. He didn't need it, so we'll see if he grids in 18th place.
Well, as these guys get rolling, and it's like they're starting down the backstretch now. We'll talk a little bit about our sponsor tonight, Kitschy Kitchen Shop. Look them up over there on Etsy. That's Derek Schimmel's wife. She makes some beautiful aprons, kitchenware. She does different masks and stuff. Some of it's holiday themed, so definitely go check that out. The prices are great. The reviews are great. You're buying American. It's made by one of the league members' wives, so definitely check that out. The Kitschy Kitchen Shop over on Etsy.
A lot of kitschiness. Starts with a K, right? K,
Yes.
kitschy. And then K, kitchen.
Spelling is hard.
It's super hard.
SCHY, Kitschy.
Well, either way.
Starts off.
Yeah, either way, here you go.
Here they go, coming around the tri-oval. Malarkey is the control car. Green flag's out, and here we go. We are racing here at Auto Club Speedway in California. Side by side through the field, Malarkey's going to choose that upper line. He moves up in front of the 4th place machine of Greg Klein, the 2nd place machine of Greg Klein. A lot of 3-wide action back here. The 35 of Flanagan kind of running down the middle between Cobe and Derek Schimmel. Kewins right behind him. The 10 of Matt Forns in behind. Here goes Greg Klein up front making a move. sticking to that inside line. He's going to challenge Malarkey for first, but he just doesn't have the momentum. He can't clear him. At least he can't right now on the tri-oval. We'll see what his strategy is coming back into turns 1 and 2.
Well, I mean, it's early, but if you're up front, you want to be out front, right? So I think that's what
Absolutely.
Greg is trying to do here.
I mean, how important was that for your momentum and stuff over there on Monday, Francisco?
Well, I can tell you right now that the way these cars are driving already is completely different from the Xfinity cars. You see everybody single file, and a lot of them are running that high line early on. For us, we were running the bottom single file. So it's good to see that they're able to run that high line because it has some really good potential. Getting up front in the clean air makes a huge difference because when you get in that dirty air, it makes it even tighter, meaning you kind of have to turn it a little bit more. You're burning up your tires. You're wearing out sooner. And if you're not careful, it's real easy for it to for the tires to burn up on you, and you'll start falling back like a rock.
Last thing you want to do, too, is wash up the track when somebody else is there. And if you've got no downforce on your front end, that's exactly what's going to happen to you. Taver Mowry diving around, challenging Greg Klein for the lead here. They're going to do a little do-si-do action, a little crossover move. Mowry's not going to hold on to this.
Here's Malarkey, too, trying to get in there.
All different lines here as well. Taver's kind of running the middle of the track. Greg Klein on the low side, Malarkey way up high. We're seeing that throughout the field. Like the 11 down there running the low line, the 60 running in the middle of the track.
And Francisco, is that the type of car, other than it's the difference in the Cup and Xfinity car, or is it the temperature on the track, or could it be both?
I'm gonna have to say that it's purely the car. Now, that surprises me because typically your Xfinity cars are just loose, while the Cup cars are tight. But every now and then you get that one track where it just seems like it kind of flips the role, and I believe Auto Club was one of those where the Cup cars, you're able to turn it on the high line, be able to drive multiple lanes and actually make it work, while the Xfinity cars, it seemed that you were just glued to one line. Now, one thing I will say is running that high line, it is good, but if you stick to the outside line and kind of just stay full throttle almost, you're going to burn up your tires really fast. So I kind of like the strategy that Greg Klein's kind of doing, where he's running the inside for a couple laps and then he'll move up. And the reason for that is if you burn the right front up, it's going to get tight, so you start running the high line. And in return, if you kind of drive it, it kind of evens out the wear and you're able to go back to the bottom on the long run.
Basically trying to make a longer run car out of it, I guess, huh?
Yep.
So I have a feeling that's what we're in for tonight is some long green flag runs. At least that's what we saw on Monday. And this is a little bit... Is this a smaller field? It's maybe about the same size. I think the field Monday was fairly small as well.
It was similar. It looks like Tony Fry and Angel Hernandez are having a little battle. Steve McComas is back there behind them, waiting to pounce. They're all kind of stacking up here. Pretty safe racing so far.
This is the first race of the playoffs, so look, maybe we might see some aggression tonight. Go ahead, San Francisco.
Now, Angel, I gotta say, he's one dude to watch out for at this race. The reason for that is this league did a money race. I believe it was in the trucks. I can't remember the vehicle, but it was the trucks. And I want to say it was the trucks. And me and him ran 1 and 2 the entire race, as the 35 just got into a wall. But he was able to save his tires really good and keep up with me the entire race, and we were able to drive away from the rest of the field. And then I believe they did like a fun race, and I believe it might have been the Cup cars, and Angel was able to do really solid in that one as well. So he knows what it takes to be solid at this track, and I think we'll see Angel be good on the long run, while other people are going to just be pushing it and kind of burning their stuff up early on.
Well, Francisco, I got a question for you. You've run a lot of laps here, obviously. You know, we saw with the 35 just now going up, scraping the wall just a little bit. how important is aero here, even if it's just a small little bend in your front right fender?
With the way iRacing's damage model has been, any little impact or anything like that, what it'll do is, now if it's not a big hit, you might be able to get away with it. But with him hitting it, and you already see the crinkle in that right front, for me, I've noticed that whenever I get damage, it just makes my car tight, and it just causes me to lose time, and I just fall back because of the damage. So I will say, especially at a track like this, what might save him is the fact that he's in the draft. So
Right.
it's a little bit of a both. It'll hurt, but it's manageable.
They're getting super racy up front, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. We also want to thank Rowdy B18 Gaming for joining us over on the Twitch channel, saying let's go north-south racing.
Yeah, so
north-south out there running.
Hernandez is in 6th, now 5th, and I mean, McComas is right there, Flanagan's right there. Man, they're just running all different kinds of lines here. It's very interesting to watch this early in the race.
Jamie Lynn Dado joining us on YouTube as well, saying let's go Malarkey. Earl Evans, thanks for joining us over here tonight, and Tommy Stanley talking about what you talked about, talking about how he won the fun race cup cars and pushed you in the money truck race.
We nearly had a wreck between Steven, I believe it was Steven McComas, and between Derek Schimmel. I believe Steven McComas got nearly to the wall, kind of overcorrected it, and got hit Derek Schimmel. That's where his damage in the front end of Derek Schimmel's car came from, and it nearly sent Steven back up into Ethan. Luckily, they all kept it straight. As you see the 11 in the wall.
Well, we know McComas has that list on the fender of his car. I wonder if he just made Derek Schimmel's list.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the list. I don't see Derek on there, but I bet he's on there now. The last one on the list was... It's hard to see here. But Gary Sack's on the list. Tabor's on the list.
I'll tell you.
See if we can add some more. Just for some fighting, get some stirred up here.
We got Eric, Andrew Kolb, Tabor Mowry, Gary Sack, and even himself is on the list.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Honesty, yeah. Sometimes you can be your own worst enemy at these races.
Oh, for sure.
Looks like we have almost 2 packs here. And this isn't really a pack race type of situation.
Ooh, 70 and the 11 getting kind of close together there. 70 kind of backed out of it a little bit because he started to wash up the racetrack and real close to the 11 of Andrew Cobb's left rear fender there. Here we go again, dueling lines up in the front. We see top, middle, and bottom lines being run in the first 5 positions here.
This racetrack can be so frustrating. You saw Angel get side by side with them on the exit of the corner, but because there's no help, everybody kind of stays single file on that high line because it's, the draft. He just falls back in line, and sometimes you're not even able to get back in line. You just drop 3 or 4 positions because you get freight trained like that. But
almost like a plate race in that respect.
It really is. The only difference is here is you gotta be careful with your tires. That's the only difference because the draft is a big part of this. But I just love the fact that we're seeing multiple grooves, and this is what I was expecting for on Monday, but sadly we didn't get it. But you see how Justin Malarkey's kind of running that middle line while Tabor's running the extremely high line. It'll be interesting to see how these tires hold up, though.
I see you, Angry Indian 89 over there on Twitch. Laissez le bon temps rouler, my friend.
What the hell are you talking about? What happened? Are you not even speaking English over there?
No.
What happened on the Twitch?
It says, Angry Indian says, go crazy Cajun English. So I just decided to tell him let the good times roll in French.
Oh, you went on the French. Oh,
Do a
I
French,
thought you were talking like Russian or something.
No, I'm not a Russian operative for the last
Okay,
time.
thank God. We don't need any more of those.
Well, Malarkey seems to be having pretty good luck with the line he's running. I know that Tabor Maurer is really trying to make that super high line work, that Larson line. That takes a lot of concentration, though, that you're going to wear yourself out mentally just trying to stay within, a foot's distance off that wall. That's got to be stressful.
Oh, it really is. I think me personally, the line that works for me at this track, that I typically do is because 1 and 2 you're a little more tighter than you are in 3 and 4. So I believe in 1 and 2, I start off on the bottom. Once it starts to get tight, I move up to the high line where they're basically at now. And in 3 and 4, I stick it to the bottom. As you see, the 5 was able to get to his outside because of the run, and actually be able to just make the paths look easy.
Andy Fry in the 6th thought about it kind of dropping down low there on Malarkey, but decided he's content to just ride in 3rd right now.
How quick did the tires wear out here get to where they're kind of unmanageable?
I guess it depends on driving style, really. How hard you can push it. The 35 is going around with a little help from Greg Klein, the fat guy's car.
He slowed down, lifted, and Greg just didn't have time. And
what a save!
Yeah, he saved it. Great job on Ethan's part by saving the thing. Lost a lot of momentum there.
Let's stack them up back here too, Francisco. We did see some guys kind of scrambling for an exit there.
Everybody's gonna be missing a chunk out of their seat after that one.
Yeah, had to have some seat cushion removed.
Man, that was a really good save by Ethan though, and it looks like it. I think if anything, that right rear might have scraped the wall, but overall, I think he should be good. I think the only damage he has is still from hitting the wall earlier. So as long as he's able to keep it clean and make it back, he should be perfectly fine.
Well, he's got a teammate to run with right now in the 70 of McComas, so he's content to just, as you said earlier, he's going to be okay as long as he's behind somebody. Now, if he gets out and in some clean air by himself, that aero damage is really going to hurt him. But the good news is, we know we're going to get a caution at at lap 50. So if he wants to have some of that damage banged out manually, he can do it.
And the 5 is in the wall.
Yeah.
That's the only issue with that high line. You misjudge it, and you gotta remember, these walls, they go out there, grab you, and they do not let you go.
Yeah, there were some sparks flying. He didn't lose too much momentum, but it looks like Malarkey's going to get past him here.
Well, we haven't talked about him yet tonight, but the number 97 car, Connor Darnell, is up 5 spots right now. Your biggest gainer so far, sitting there in 7th place. Connor Darnell in that yellow and black DeWalt machine.
Actually, a nice paint scheme. I like it.
It's very cool.
Who used to run that? Carl Edwards?
That was Kenseth ran it.
Kenseth, that's who I was thinking of.
There's a few other guys that ran that. I think before him, Ward Burke or somebody.
I always like the history of who used to run the paint, It's kind of cool. I like Angel Hernandez's paint job, Fat Guy's Burger Bar. A tribute to Greg Klein and his family. Pretty cool that he's going to still running that. Greg lost his brother recently to cancer, and some of the guys here in the league have kind of rallied behind him. Kind of a cool situation, Got to help your friends out when they're down. That's a terrible situation to happen with Greg's family, but I know that the cancer deal, Alan, you can talk about that. Get everything checked out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if anything, if you could find anything that that could come out of that situation, it's hey, tell everybody if you're that age, 45 to 50, I think it's 50 now, go get checked, go get your screenings and stuff done, because it's treatable if caught early. But RC wasn't as lucky. RC Klein, Greg's brother, passed away earlier this month. Yeah, he was a part owner and manager of Fat Guy's Burger Bar there in Tulsa. Hence the cool paints out there.
Yeah.
Fat Guys.
Yeah, and Angel's got his Fat Guy's car looking real sharp right now.
He's on the move right now, isn't he?
Fourth place. Yeah, I think he's just waiting to pounce and watching these guys kind of wear out in front of him.
I feel like he's waiting, but knowing these cars, I know it's a pain to pass once the tires wear, just because with the way this track is, you get to the bottom and you're back on the gas and the car is just going up the track. So you really have to use the entire exit and to try and get up to the wall to maintain it. When you're side by side like that, you're not able to do that. So that's where the guy on his outside is able to hold on to the position, and it makes it so difficult. With new tires, you're able to get away with it because you're able to turn the car more and get it to stick and able to complete it. But here, it really is just a matter of setting it up and hoping you have help to kind of bring you along to complete the pass.
Well, Francisco, you thinking about moving up to Cup next season?
I actually am not.
You gonna stay in Xfinity?
No, I'm actually not gonna be racing after the season. I'm taking a step back.
Wow.
I'm taking a step back from the league racing in general. I'm kind of just gonna stick with like broadcasting and just my official races I do and some of the big events I try and do throughout the year.
Well, we're gonna miss seeing you run on Mondays, that's for sure, because you put on a pretty good show.
Oh, that's fun. The Xfinity cars is the cars I hate the most. But it's been fun. It's been fun trying to get the hang of them and run more laps on them, get the practice in, and kind of see where I stand with the competition. Just a malarkey right here, right now is actually. I'll tell you, they run a high for a bit and then they go back to the bottom, and you see he's able to hook it really good in 3 and 4, running that bottom lane and able to create a gap. Now with Tabor, he's gonna get the run.
Woo! Contact between the 35 and the 89. The 35 kind of sliding up the track as he made contact with Gary Sack's rear bumper. Got the 89 of Sack just a little bit loose.
Number 5 got in the wall again as well.
Danger of running that super high line, as Francisco mentioned. The
It's a
amount of
really fun
concentration
line.
it takes.
It's a really fun line, but the moment you hit the wall, you hate yourself for it. As Angel's taking full advantage of that, getting the inside, getting ahead of the 6, and getting side by side with the 5, he might be able to complete it. It's gonna be tough. That draft is just.
Yeah, now for sure the tire wear is getting to them, so people can take advantage that have saved their tires.
89 washed up the track that time, almost getting into the 60, but he got out of it. He's going to lose a lot of track position, but able to save some contact and probably a wreck right there.
Hey, did you say the Connor Darnell was in a DeWalt paint?
I thought it was. Is
That's
he not?
it's wrapped in caution tape,
Oh, okay.
so he knows
My
he
bad.
might hit something. It looks like the old DeWalt though.
That's what I thought I saw. I'm like from the chopper cam.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
So it seems. I can't remember when the tires would. It seems like now we kind of have an idea of when these tires kind of fall off. I'd say around the 25 lap mark, and they should be only going. They're gonna have to pit before that first stage ends, because stage 1 ends at what, lap 50? You said.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
So they should be pitting. I'm gonna be cautious and say 35 laps is probably what they could go. 35 to 40. Because they're on lap
Regardless.
30.
Regardless, they gotta come in. I mean, before the 50. So I think it's just kind of follow the leader maybe at this point.
So we did talk about this some Monday during the Xfinity broadcast, but it's not the easiest pit road to get onto in the world either. It's kind of a sharp little turn there as you get out of 4. And I hope these guys practiced some green flag pit stops, because they're going to have to get that speed down to 55 miles an hour or get a penalty entering the pits here.
Oh yeah, the 35 of Ethan's up back on the march as he just completed a pass past the 70 on the inside. But like you were mentioning, the pit road here, it's interesting. If you want to gain positions right after your tires are done and with the fresh tires, best way to do it is pit road, as you see Angel get in front of the 5. But this pit road, it's my biggest weakness is pit entry. I take it too conservative and I lose time on it. But as we see, I'm already coming down to pit road. Now,
So, yeah, Tony Fry and Tabor Mowry.
Now here's the thing. When you come in earlier, you're able to close the gap and potentially get ahead of the people in front of you. Downside to that is the people that pit after you have the fresher tires. So you kind of had to manage when and where. I know with me and Davey on Monday, I was trying to pit a lap before him to try and get the position. But he was just too dang fast and it didn't work out in my favor. But that's another thing to consider here is if you're burning up your tires or if you're noticing a drop off in time, kind of pay attention to that and adjust for it, because at that point you're just going to burn it up even sooner than the leaders and you're going to lose even more time.
Malarkey and Hernandez pitting from first and second.
Well, and
now a few more from the middle of the pack pitting.
Here's my thought. Now we only have 17 laps until we know there's a caution. So the guys that have pitted now, I think, are in great shape. They're not going to lose too much. They're within that 20 laps where the tires should be pretty good, and you get them worn in about after 5 laps, you're going to run some heaters, man. So
well, I'm curious to know why we didn't see anybody trying to split the stage and pit around lap 25, because there's a guaranteed caution, and to get the best lap times out of those tires that you can, you'd probably want them to be pretty evened up, I would have thought. Does that logic not make any sense?
That's actually That's actually a good point. I mean, on Monday, that's what me and Davey ended up doing, was that last run. We were going to be like 3 laps short, so we knew we were going to have to make one more stop. So I said, you know what, might as well just split it or pit early, because the tires were out at this lap, so I should be good. So stuff like that's really important. Now, it could just be that they know as 11 goes to the grass trying to get a pit road, that they could just be like, oh, well, there's still going to be 2 more stages. So, actually 1 more stage. But, they're kind of just saying, you know what, let me just run this till it's dry. Just kind of fall in line and just make sure the car is there for the end, rather than, pushing it earlier, trying to get to the front, and then something happening and ruining the race.
Yeah, and I mean, that's my plan was under the assumption that you'd run all green flag laps. Now, that wouldn't be the case if we did have a caution later. I mean, you'd still see a bunch of guys, that strategy would have went out the window. So I do see why these guys are staying out as long as they can on fuel.
Well, what's interesting, though, is McComas, Flanagan, and Malarkey are all teammates, and 2 of them pitted. One of them pitted, and the other 2 haven't. I think Malarkey went ahead and pitted 32, and the other 2, I think, are going to come down next. So interesting, the little change in strategy within the team. You got that. And they have an actual crew chief for that team, a live human being, I believe.
And now that we've seen most of the cars pit, we have yet to see a single black flag for speeding. So these guys are being very careful, or they practice really, really well on their pit entry here.
we were talking about pit entry and kind of how that's a place to gain spots. So I did mention that if you pit a lap earlier, you typically close the gap and you're able to get out faster. And if it doesn't work out, honestly, the tires are going to wear out sooner. You're going to fall back sooner. Well, Tabor Meyer and Anthony Fry, they pitted before Malarkey and Angel, but yet I believe Malarkey and Angel had a better either entry or overall pit stop to where they're still out in front. Angel gains a position off the pit road, so he's sitting pretty nice where he is right now. As you see the 6 right behind them. So honestly, pit road's going to be the move where they could decide who wins this and who doesn't. Well, no, there's a shootout at the end, but
Well, how about Chicken Man Joe Archer out there? Looks like he did end up leading the lap there in the 56 Farmer Joe's Chickens machine. And Red Stick Mike Simone on YouTube saying, let's go north-south. Of course,
where is he?
Twig is correcting him, saying it's north-south. I don't know where he's at today.
He's probably at a crawfish
He's
boil.
not on the track, that's for sure.
He might be at the Rangers game watching them get beat again.
Oh, please don't mention that.
They're not doing well again. Oh, look at this.
I'm not wearing my Rangers hat today. I'm wearing my Louisiana Tech hats.
Okay.
They look almost the same, though. What you got, Adam?
Nothing. I'm just,
Oh.
we got all kinds of stuff happening over here. None of it very exciting.
what do y'all say we go a little bit of side by side and kind of go into
Let's do it.
Yeah. I love that.
Let's see what some of these guys are looking at here.
we're
Just
going to
happy
be
to see.
on board with the number 6 car of Anthony Fry, where he's run down. He's actually run him down and right there in the mix again.
He's got a nice wheel set up there, too, doesn't he? Is that a Fanatec wheel? Very
I
cool.
believe so.
Good equipment helps, but I mean, I know a lot of guys that when they get started in here, you know, if you're thinking about getting into iRacing, it doesn't cost you a whole heck of a lot of money. I mean, it's like any other hobby. It's how far into it do you want to get?
I think that's one thing that iRacing does pretty good is like the rookie series and all that. It gives you an option with the free tracks and the free cars that come with the rookies.
Oh, yeah.
That allows you to test it, see if you like it, and then you can decide this is for me or it's not. And all you have to do is pay the subscription fee. And even then, if you're a new subscriber, I think it's like 40% off for new subscriptions. So and then if you are into it, it does get expensive at the beginning, but once you kind of slowly purchase everything, it doesn't seem that much, if that makes sense. It's only at the beginning when you're slowly building up.
Yeah, you can spread the wealth. You can buy a set of pedals here. You can buy new steering wheel here if you want to upgrade. And the more you get into it, the more addicted you get, and the better you get, the more equipment you want, right? So that's just kind of how it works. But once you're in it, it's not super expensive. It's way better than buying an actual real car and putting sheet metal on it every weekend.
Oh yeah. And right now we're seeing so I was looking over and I saw Chad Riding B Gaming says, "You crazy, I have dropped a bag on iRacing." Over here on the Twitch side.
Yeah, but maybe over like a couple of years. I mean, of course you've dropped $1,000, but it was over a period of time, I would hope.
Yeah, like for me, I've been on iRacing over a year, and I basically have all the NASCAR tracks. I've already upgraded my wheel. Now, I kind of fast-tracked it, so it did seem kind of expensive, but people typically take a few years to really, like, upgrade and do all that stuff. Now, some people start off with just a controller. Now, you're not going to be the most liked person in the races if you're driving a controller because people can tell, but it's still something.
That's actually frowned upon, and may start an actual fist fight.
How about our buddy Albert Anderson joining us over on Facebook? He said, hopefully no one gets taken out. Like English took out Turner at Pocono. Oh, I'm never gonna live that one down.
America's driver,
America's driver reminded me of the pain.
Albert Anderson, knows the deal. Yes, you did take me out of Pocono, and it was a disgrace to humanity.
And you were my teammate, yeah.
That's why it was such a disgrace. But not even here. We don't even think we're gonna have anybody crash anyone here.
We're on board with Matt Forns right now, and I could tell he's getting a little tight in 1 and 2. But I think he changed his camera angle so we could see him better, see that mustache a little bit more.
Well, yeah, and that's how I can tell when his car's starting to get a little tight, is the right side of his mustache kind of curls up a little bit, as he's trying to do everything in his power to get that front end to maintain some grip.
I think that's when he's in the other side. He's putting sipping a beer. Might move the mustache. Tabor Mowry's still running that high line. I don't know what he's doing the full Kyle Larson up top there.
You shouldn't have to move your mustache. The mustache is there to strain out any impurities that might be in your beer. That's what it's for.
Is that what it's for?
It's a free filter.
That's right.
Oh, I see him. Okay, yeah. That is a different angle.
What's it called? And then we do have our very own broadcaster, Mr. English, on camera.
Oh, no. Please, no, don't.
Nobody wants to see that.
Let's show him. Show the world. Oh, man, I can't wait to see this.
Mr. English is on camera.
Oh, well, let's see how many viewers we lose during this segment.
All of them. I just saw everybody leave. 100%. You're not getting monetized now. Tommy S. joining us. He said he's used a controller before. Mike Gervey says that Angel and Joe are going to run away with this thing. Just wait. Malarkey, man, he's pretty strong up front right now. 4/10 ahead of Angel, but it's all about the long game.
And we're 4 laps away from basically resetting this thing too.
We appreciate all of our viewers on all 3 platforms. Go ahead, sir.
Now, I can say with Thomas that says that he's racing on controller, he actually does. Sometimes, and he's actually fast with the controller. Sometimes he races better with a controller than on wheel.
What?
At certain tracks, he actually kills it. So actually, there's a few drivers I actually know that they don't want to get their wheel or plug it in and type of thing, and they'll just use the controller, and they actually do really good with it.
That's wild.
And then you
almost
have
as wild as again. What were you saying? Sorry, Bob.
I was gonna say. Then of course you have what you expect, where people are going inside, outside, middle, left, right, up and down.
Like a 6-year-old playing Atari or something.
Yeah.
What are they playing now? Yeah, well, I was wanting to comment on English. It looks like he's the leader of some kind of Louisiana prison gang. What in the world you got on your face there, son?
Well, Thomas S. said, "Yeah, I like your beard. Well, I just shaved it yesterday. The damn thing just keeps growing back."
Oh, you're that good. You got that much manpower.
Yeah. Because I sprayed fertilizer on my tomatoes yesterday. That's probably why it is.
Could be.
Stuff's overspray, you know. But Earl Evans reminding us that Chachi races with a controller. Our buddy Jonathan.
That's a different situation. And he is a hell of a driver. Totally.
He's one hell of a driver, too. But he has to race with a controller with his mouth because the guy's a quadriplegic. But, I mean, he's one of the best drivers out there. He really is. It's an amazing story.
It is such an amazing story with Jonathan Osborne. You could ever see him on iRacing, you might want to check him out, watch him. He does an awesome job. And yeah, that's not the controller we were talking about. We were talking about my kid's Xbox controller or something. But that great to bring him up because he's an inspiration for anybody that wants to do something. I mean, he wants to do this, and he's figured out a way.
Albert Anderson says I look like one of the Soggy Bottom boys.
Soggy. Oh hell!
There's your stage end at lap 50.
Now, I will say this, coming to the end of that stage, I believe the tires were starting to take effect for Tabor because the guys behind him pitted about 2 laps after him, and he was getting in that bunch. He was able to hold them off, but I think had this been another green flag run, those drivers might have been able to get around him. It Tires are so important at this track, and they wear so easily.
Well, I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say that you're going to see everybody come down at the same time here.
This is your free one, right? Why wouldn't
Yeah.
you?
You know, unless you wanted to stay out just to get a point for leading a lap, because let's face it, it's a long race, and if you do want to get that bonus point and you're in the playoffs and every point counts, as we know, you know, why not stay out, pick up that point, rejoin the end of the lead lap, and work your way back up through it? You got plenty of time.
Well, here's what I'm looking at, and honestly, this is just me as kind of someone that, whether I'm broadcasting, racing, or anything, I'm always trying to think strategy. Because if someone's faster than me, it's always going to be like, what can I do to at least give me a shot? And Monday, I took 2 tires. And honestly, the Xfinity cars actually handled real good with 2 tires. It wasn't like a big drop off. And I mean, I still finished second, but because I figured the risk reward was worth it, I wasn't going to lose too much, even if it did go bad. But in this situation, they're going to pit here. We saw the first fuel run go to, I believe it was what, lap 30, 35? And
Yeah, roughly.
if that's the case, if you're able to stretch it out, what you could do is strategize and kind of pit before that last stage. Right before the caution comes out, so your tires are still fresh and you're able to gain the track position. So it'll be interesting to see if anybody tries it. It'll be risky, but it should be manageable, because that's one for any racers that are watching. That's a strategy for you. You're welcome. Will it work?
Yeah,
I can't promise nothing, but
well, we'll see if anybody does it, and I think that's could potentially be a smart move. A couple laps to go before that. I mean, you're still pretty fresh. They're not gonna. It should be fairly level, you know, as the other guys come into pit at lap 95. So I like that strategy, actually.
Berkeley joining us over on Facebook saying, go get them Super Serial Racing. Pulling first teammates out there.
Who, Barkley? Where did he wasn't here tonight. He's gridded, but he didn't grid.
Don't know what he's doing. I don't know if Barkley's helping out with admin stuff, or maybe he just decided to start and park.
Man, Nazi.
Either way, we're going to get re-racked here in another lap or two.
Yeah, because I don't think they have a rule with that says you can't pit like a lap before or 2 laps before. Like in real NASCAR, where is it 2 laps that you can't before the stage ends that you can't pit? So
I think it is. They'll close the pits and turn the closed pit lights on, but yeah, no rule against it here. You can pit, you know, right before they throw that flag. That's the thing about having a stage ending flag rather than a competition caution, which you don't know exactly when it's coming.
everybody gets bunched up once again. This race is going by quick.
Justin letting us know. He says his daughter had a dance competition and the travel rig wouldn't handle the racing. So at least he's on here spectating, pulling for his teammates on here, which is always good. We appreciate all of our viewers over on Twitch, YouTube, and on Facebook. I'll hit up our sponsor one more time tonight. The Kitschy Kitchen Shop over on Etsy. That's Derek Schimmel's wife, Rihanna, and she makes a lot of original design stuff. Just real cool fabric that she uses to make these kitchen aprons and masks and whatnot. Go over there and check them out for sure. The prices are great. She's got nothing but good feedback on there. As pace cars off. Francisco, you want to give us the call?
Oh yeah, I got you on this. As Malarkey leads them to the green flag. It'll be interesting to see how aggressive these drivers get, but as you see, Angel got a really good start with Malarkey. Now, if I was Angel, you would kind of want to pitch him down, stay right beside, side draft, to keep him from clearing, but Angel's going to try to cross him over, gets him, and he does have the help behind him, so the draft should be even. Angel might be able to clear this entering turn 3 and 4, but it's gonna be interesting. But actually, no, he is able to clear him with Malarkey in second. Anthony Fry right there trying to get underneath them and battle for that second position. Connor Darnell is up here as well, moving up already 8 positions in there in the mix. It is a battle right now for second and 5th is what it seems like.
Oh, man.
Greg Klein diving way down the track to the white line. As he was right up beside his teammate in the 60.
Oh,
now
sorry.
looking inside of Connor Darnell and not going to make it past Cobe. You're all right there, Adam?
Yeah, sorry I missed that restart. I had a little activity outside. A lot of stuff going on here. The wind is howling.
What I'm getting tomorrow then, because it always hits me a day after.
It's not easy. It's just the wind. There's no storming or anything.
Anthony Fry was able to get up to
the
lead.
restart, I think, is made for some more excitement. Taylor Mowry making some bold moves right now.
Well,
zigzagging around like he's on the damn Katy Freeway.
Taylor started in the back on that restart, and I believe it was because he was probably getting that damage trick from smacking the wall mid pits, so that's probably the reason he started that back. But Anthony Fry was able to get to the lead after this restart, so it'll be interesting to see what happens as the 11 gets underneath Angel. See how this works out for them.
Andrew Cobe up 6 spots so far tonight, and he's got a cheering section on YouTube. Justin Barkley saying, "Go get him, Cobe." Oh, everybody's scrambling here. 5 way down on the apron there.
I think he...
A lot of contact.
So
what happened?
Actually, I saw it. I was on them when I think I saw what happened. I believe it was the 60 and Connor Darnell that started that. I believe the 60 might have made contact with the 97, put 97 into the wall, and everybody just kind of reacted to the 97 get put into the wall. So that, I believe that's what occurred. That was the 60. I'm not too sure, but I want to say it was.
Ooh, Tabor just got kind of sideswiped.
Ooh, Tabor has a lot of damage.
Wrong place, wrong time for the 5.
Yeah, he's down on power, I think, too.
Oh, man.
That really
good
was
news for the driver of the 5.
That really was a case of bad, unfortunate. Actually, you know what? This will tell me if you down on power.
And thank you, Mike Pinpair, for also joining us over on the Facebook.
Compare, Mr. Maine.
Yeah.
So, Tabor's able to get about up to 8,500 RPMs. And let's see, Anthony Fry, our leader, by the time he reaches turn 3, he's about 80. Actually, no, the front stretch will give us a really good determination. I want to say he is down on power. I'm not sure how much.
This looks from the naked eye for me that he's down a little bit. I'm not sure how much either, but he's definitely not making any ground here.
Oh yeah, he actually is, because Angel seems to be getting up to 8,600, while Tabor in the turns is kind of stuck at that 8,500 range. So he's down just enough to where it'll definitely affect him. Typically, when you get damage and you're down on power, if you're able to be just down, I'd say 15 to 30 RPMs, the draft kind of saves you. But at this track, with the way the tires wear and everything like that, once you're down on power, it's game over. Because there is no fast repairs, by the way. So
Nope. Zero.
any damage you get, it's a damage you gotta deal with for the rest of the race.
And Buck is online on YouTube saying, "Go Chicken Man." Joe Archer, he's got his work cut out for him. Sitting back in 12th place right now.
Looked like he backed into his chicken cage, back into that Camry. Has got some problems. What do you call that kind of car? Starts with a T. A Toyota?
Yeah.
It's a Toyota.
That's exactly what you call it.
A
Adam, thank you so
Toyota.
much. Albert Anderson says, "I would make a good mall Santa, and Francisco could be one of my elves." I
There
think
you
that's
go.
a dig at both of us.
What?
Albert,
What?
how you gonna do Francisco like that?
I was about to say,
Because he's hanging out with us. You got to.
I guess since I'm the, I'm a young one,
You're the young one.
I might get put as the elf.
I'll collect the money on that one, Albert.
You can
You
be
and
the
I
guy
can collect
taking the
the
picture. Yeah.
Yeah. Albert and I'll take the money.
$5 for a Polaroid.
Yeah. Oh, somebody hit the wall
Oh
here.
man, that's the 10. Slid way up there. Gary Sack was right there below him.
I think it started with Hornbeck hitting the wall, the 84.
Did Hornbeck hit the wall?
I
believe
think so, because
Oh,
he
yeah.
lost a lot of momentum.
Not super hard, but he just kind of skimmed it to where he slowed down enough. Yeah, he hit it pretty good. Enough to get your attention. That'll be an attention getter.
Is that another Buford T. Justice quote?
It could be. I don't know. You have to figure it out for yourself.
I'm not letting those slip by me. I got you there.
Well, we hadn't seen any real savagery out here tonight. Like nobody's out here shooting dice in Waco, shooting people in the face or anything. This is pretty calm, really.
Pretty tame and civilized, yeah.
It's unfortunate.
I was about to say pretty tamed and calm and everything, and I don't like it. I prefer the aggressiveness.
Yeah, me too. I want to see some anger. It's the first week of the playoffs. Somebody's got to get mad.
Yeah, we need some violence in here.
And maybe they're saving it up. We're at lap 64. We're gonna have a stage and stop again at what 95 stage caution.
Well,
We have 100 laps in this race, so it'll be a real shootout at the end. That's where we might see some anger.
and to your point, Adam, I think here, this is a few seasons ago, we did see in the playoffs another driver that we called Chicken Man make some crazy moves and pretty much wreck somebody for the championship. Not sure
Oh.
we'll see that again, but yeah, to
That was
your
a different
point,
chicken, man.
a lot of the controversial moves and savagery will come later in the playoffs. I think.
Good.
So
But didn't in the playoffs we have somebody threaten to come to somebody's house across state
Yes.
lines,
Yeah.
pummel them?
What you got, Francisco?
So we also got to remember the first round is made up of 2 races. You got this race right here, and then next week I believe they're at Rockingham.
Yes, sir.
So Rockingham's gonna be the cutoff. 4 drivers. They're doing. I believe it's 4 drivers get eliminated from that because it's 16 drivers, and then it cuts off every 4, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
You
it's
are
correct.
So, with that being said, we got Tabor, who, with his damage, I don't know if he'll be able to gain position here. You got a few of these drivers that are going to be back there. Next week, you're going to see them. I'm pretty sure they're going to be a little bit more aggressive because it's going to be a matter of points for them, whether they move on to the next round or if they get eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's at Rockingham. That ought to be a good one. Lots
Exactly.
of fighting.
That's the nature of short track racing, anyway. So I mean, yeah, I think next week's race is going to be. You know, I don't believe this race here is a precursor or any kind of foreshadowing of what the rest of the playoffs is going to look like. I definitely think, especially after next week or during next week's race and moving on, our aggression level is going to
ramp.
Increase exponentially. Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, and then after that, the next two races will be Daytona Road Course and Bristol. Well, how different are those two? So it's kind of a cool setup here they got in the playoffs.
We have a plate race in there somewhere too, don't we? In
Um,
Talladega.
no,
Oh, okay.
I think it's Kansas. After that, Kansas, Phoenix, and Homestead.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I'm thinking of the other.
I mean, we only
series.
broadcast like 50 series, so I mean, it's hard to.
I think it's the one on Monday nights that goes to a plate track. I have to look that up.
Regardless, we did
No.
get confused up here.
No, I think the schedules are the same because I know we head to Daytona Road Course next week. I think also we're at Rockingham, and then I think we're following the same schedule for.
You are
for the
absolutely correct.
Gary Sack jumped over to pits. I believe he might have had a little incident occur, but we're seeing this front pack running real close to one another, trying to make moves. And it seems like that inside line is the preferred line at this moment in the turns. The outside line's not getting the runoff like it was earlier on.
Well, even if Gary Sack didn't have any damage, it might be kind of a good move for him just to go ahead and pit now.
Well, he had packet loss, so I'm assuming his cat.
That's
his
what
cat
happened.
unplugged the internet.
Never mind then.
Or his dog. What is that that's always running around his house? A dog or cat or something? Probably got a hold of his internet.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think it's
So
Monty.
he's back in, but he's now 5 laps.
Good call.
Well, fellas, this is actually, it's been very clean racing, very close racing, not as aggressive as I would have expected, to be honest. These laps are winding down. Our next stage ends at lap 95. Oh, that shootout's going to be real interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's strange how they laid it out, with your final stage with 5 laps to go. That basically
Throw it at
Says-
5 to go, but they're
Right.
not going to get reloaded, and start racing again
3.
until there's 2 to go. Yeah, maybe.
right. And so what that means is, like, if you're in the top 5, let's just go ahead and assassinate whoever's in front of me. That just tells you, let's turn somebody.
Oh, I can't wait for the end now.
And that's what I'm talking about.
For me,
If I'm in the top 5, I am going to turn someone. That would be my thought. Get out of my way. I'm coming.
For me, the last stage at this track, I think 20 laps would have been good. Just enough to where
Yeah.
the tires are already wearing, but yet it's close enough racing to where it's still
Right.
a
The best
kind of
driver,
a
the
pack.
actual best driver will win, right? I think in the situation here, with a few laps to go, just like I said, any idiot like me could just ram their way to the front, so we may see that. And I'm actually all for it.
It it basically becomes, when you have a shootout like that, it basically becomes who can run their qualifying run, basically. Because you gotta worry about saving tires. You just gotta make sure you're able to make it stick and pass the cars, and that's it. Because oh, sneeze. Didn't expect that. But the way this works, I don't know. Me personally, if it was a 5-lap shootout in the Xfinity Series, or in general, in officials, anything like that, I would never either win a race or get a top 5. The reason being is I really don't have the short run speed. I typically go for race speed all the time. Qualifying is a weakness for me, so trying to put up the fastest laps is never really a good thing for me. So, like 5-lap shootouts, I probably wouldn't finish in the top 5.
Well, and don't look now. The 11 of Andrew Coe took the lead here about 2 laps ago,
Well,
and it's got about a quarter second on Malarkey.
he's up 8, but look who's up 7. Alan
Ewens.
Ewens in the number 60 zigzag car, and then look right behind him is Tony Fry in always the Viagra car. That's his car, the Viagra Camaro.
He is
What?
a hard charger.
Angel Hernandez behind him, and then So we're still doing some stuff, and this is where, like Francisco was saying, there's a lot of strategy out here. We're just turning left, it appears. These guys are actually thing out and trying to finish out on a high note.
Oh yeah, as you see the 60 trying to make a pass on 73. I think he might be able to clear him.
Yeah, Friday night
not
is
quite.
Alan Kewins cuts it loose on Friday night. I know that fact. Hopefully he can cut it loose and get a victory here tonight.
Here we go. It's got some takers coming down pit lane. Lap 75, so splitting this final stage is the strategy for a few
that was opposite of the last one. They ran the thing out of gas almost, so.
Well, so far it's only the 3. So
yeah, we'll see what these guys up front do.
Well, with this being said, there's always that surprise, of strategy and everything like that. I'm really interested to see if somebody tries to do the strategy I said of coming in right before the stage comes in. But it'll be very interesting to see. Because if they come in a pit, if they could at least... It would have to be one of the front runners because you cannot go a lap down. You have to stay on the lead lap. If not, the strategy isn't going to work. And then the other thing is 2 tires. Is 2 tires worth it?
Oh, good question.
So far, 4 tires is the verdict here. For the first 3 that pitted, let's see what Tony Fry does here. It's like 4 tires for him as well. So with 4 tires being the name of the game so far, let's see if any of these guys try to change it up. I don't know if we'll see any.
Well, I think
only stuff.
Francisco was talking about maybe if they're short pit it, lap or 2
later. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be worth it too.
But if you can't stay on the lead lap, it's not really worth doing.
Right, that's true. It's a gamble, man. I like to roll dice in Waco. That's what you're supposed to be doing out here.
Well, we appreciate all the people chiming in and talking with us on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch tonight. Don't forget to check out our race sponsor tonight, Kitschy Kitchen Shop, over there on Etsy. Rhiannon does great work. She's got great reviews on these homemade. They're really works of art that you can wear, while you're cooking. These aprons are something else. She's got one for just about every occasion. Halloween, Christmas, it don't matter. If you're somebody that likes to collect that kind of thing. Not to mention the masks and stuff that she does. Sports teams and different other cool designs. Definitely go check that out. It's worth a look for sure. Very, very cool shop there. Kitschy Kitchen Shop over on Etsy. And here comes Joe Archer in the 56 Chicken Man machine. Farmer Joe's Chickens. Come to get his service. I imagine we'll see here before too terribly much longer. Well, I mean, I don't know. If these guys do wait till a lap or 2 before the caution that we know is coming. I don't know if they can make it. I don't know if they can make it that far.
They're going to have to pit lap 50, at least 85 is what I'm assuming. So with about 10 to go.
45 laps, that's probably about the extent of what they can do on fuel.
But, I mean, all strategies and everything is kind of like the game Yahtzee. Where, you don't know what you're going to roll.
Yeah, man. I mean, and if there's a caution somehow, it's going to change everything. I personally don't think we're going to see a caution here. I haven't seen one yet.
Well, and I mean, it's the luck of the draw, as you said. It's throwing dice. You don't know what's going to happen here. We Turner, I know me and you, we have seen several flag to flag races here at Auto
Yeah.
Club.
Yeah, I think this track kind of lends itself to that kind of racing. It's so wide. Right now, the track is so cool. It's just kind of, the grip is so good. And the
Low car
drivers
count.
have, low car count. Drivers pretty skilled. So I think that's why we kind of see that here. You have a lot of room for error, unlike some of the tracks, you know. But
Crafty B 18 Gaming remind us on Twitch that the leaders are losing time every lap to Tony Fry. So watch that number 6 Viagra machine.
yeah, they're
middles away.
here's the deal. The leaders are about 2.5 seconds off their best lap, right? I think that's kind of an indicator of when might be getting time to start coming in, you know, but they're probably going to hold out and would maybe short pit the thing.
Albert Anderson did comment. We mentioned our sponsor just now. He said it's time for him to check out Kitschy Kitchen Shop over on Etsy. He's tired of frying fish in his underwear. I mean, that's
You better get one of those aprons over there, Albert.
dangerous practice.
If it's kind of like shooting dice in Waco. You never know. It's like Russian roulette. But I would advise you check the Kitschy Kitchen Shop out. Maybe get you cool like apron. You know, it probably has some saying on it that's really cool. Maybe you need to get one that says America's Driver.
Oh, yeah.
He needs a custom apron.
Well, Tommy Stanley's saying on YouTube he thinks that you could probably save enough fuel on the track to make it to the stage. But I'm not sure how many guys are thinking that way. You might have a couple guys out there trying that strategy.
Well, the main guys I think about are the guys with a crew chief in here, those Speed Demon Motorsports, Flanagan, Malarkey, and McComas. I guarantee you they have some kind of plan. They're hatching and scheming over there. Really?
X got a guy talking in his ear as well. Matt Thorns has Chase Harden up in his booth for him.
Does he?
Yeah, and Tabor Mallory's got Peyton Harden helping him out tonight. It helps to have somebody making those calls for you, and checking and unchecking those boxes. So all you got to do is drive.
Yeah, that
You
does
got
make
enough
it.
to worry about as a driver.
You hate driving and trying to worry about the button boxes and all that crap, you know, during a race like this. And I've done it. I used to do this stuff, and I wasn't the greatest at it, obviously. But it was difficult, you know, when you're managing your own pit crew and driving and trying to get down the speed on pit road. It's not easy. Well, what do you think, English? We're getting a little bit closer to the end of this stage.
Yeah, we've got 10 more laps to go. I think here pretty soon you're going to see some guys diving down because I really don't think you're going to see too many guys that are going to save enough to make it to the stage. We've already got a few guys that pitted lap 75 to lap 79 in that area. They're all a lap down now. So they really need these other cats to pit under green flag conditions so they can get their lap back, basically. Cobe leading this thing 8 positions up on the day. The driver of the 11 leading this race by about 1/10 of a second, it looks like.
Yeah, Malarkey's giving him everything he's got. Looks like some of these guys with at least Matt Thorne's got fresher tires, was moving his way kind of up, gaining ground on him. But the top, looks like the top 9 all pitted at lap 51. We're now at lap going on 89. So definitely a huge difference.
Tommy Stanley letting us know over on YouTube that he's the crew chief for Angel tonight.
All right.
Jamie Landato saying, "Come on, Justin, let's go, brother." Of course, pulling for Justin Malarkey out there in the 73.
We don't have any Brandons. I always wanted to say, let's go, Brandon. You know, like,
Yeah, we don't have any tonight.
well,
Not
I
this
always like
league.
that's how you root one on. You always just like, let's go,
Yeah.
Brandon.
Yeah.
Kind
Gotta
of the
encourage
thing.
everyone out there that you can.
Oh, the oldest iRacer ever has announced his pit. Richard Michelob Gray in the 110. He's only 2 laps down right now. Just driving around on the track.
He's kind of cruising around in the. Some of those guys kind of cruising
Well,
around in the left lane.
well, like it was,
Doing
you know, like he
seven
used to
under the speed limit.
in the Model T. You know, that's how they used to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, Andrew Cove announcing his pit, the
Leader.
leader, coming down. So
Here we go. We're about 6 laps shy of that final stage flag. Everybody's going to try to get their pit stop in before that flag flies. Then I think, well, maybe you might see some guys in the latter part of the field pit again.
well, Matt Forms, the number 10 Rainier Beer car, just got his lap back for now. Ethan Flanagan's about to call out. He's calling out his pit, and so is Alan Kewen. So,
Well, a 35 needs to get down if he's going to make the pit this time.
yeah, I
He's got a
think
car
he's getting
inside there. There he goes.
Ooh, that was
Like
Greg
a
Klein.
60's coming.
there. Greg Klein and
92.
92, yeah. There's a lot of strategery going on right now.
But here's the thing. I feel like even if they all come down, obviously for a caution, because I don't think the strategy I said would work out. It'd be too risky to go a lap down. It'd be extremely risky. Now with these drivers, I feel like what they could do is a 2-tire stop. Because, I mean, they're only going to, with the guys that are staying out like Malarkey, Angel, and even Steven, they're still going. So they're only going to put, I believe, let's see, lap 5, or 5 laps to go is what the caution comes out. So 3 to 4 laps on those left side tires, it should be more than fine to take 2 tires. You do want to take right sides, because the right sides, even after a lap or 2, you definitely feel them, but I mean, you could easily get away with just taking 2 tires here.
Pretty good call. We'll see how many teams follow that strategy. As we've got a couple more laps to make here before they bring them on down.
Angel coming down.
Let's just check out Angel Hernandez here in the 42. I'm gonna sit here on his car and see what I can see.
Malarkey's still, Malarkey could be the one that just, I mean, he honestly could just stay out with, if he comes out of pit.
He's coming this time though.
He could still do it, because, I mean, when he crosses the line and gets to his pit box, it'll be 6 to go. So he's only going to run 1 lap on this set of tires.
Angel's taking 4 tires.
Even McComas, too. He's right behind him. This is going to be interesting.
No takers on the 2-tire strategy so far. Check out Malarkey and McComas here.
4 tires for Malarkey. Anthony Fry is taking the lead, and he has.
There's the caution flag.
There's your stage. Wow.
So if I'm Malarkey, Angel, All of them. Basically, those guys that pitted last, I would even pit right here. I mean, you don't have enough laps on your tires to even worry about it, and it's gonna be a 2-lap shootout. I know for Justin Malarkey, I would not commit a pit at all.
Oh no, I don't think so. Now the guys that have the lap 75, 76, they pitted 20 laps ago. They're going to be hurt. We'll see if they can hold them off.
He's letting us know that he's got a new paint job to preview for us on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Who's that?
Earl Evans.
Oh, Earl Evans. I can't wait to see that.
Pretty cool Schlitz beer machine this past week. We'll see what he comes up with this week.
He wasn't in the Schlitz machine. That was someone else. You're getting confused.
Am I?
I think so.
All right.
Hell, I don't know.
I mean, it has happened. It's been known to happen.
Trying to think of the Schlitz machine. Oh man, but that was an awesome paint.
Was that Ferdiani that was?
Yeah, it was Ferdiani.
That was
Ferdiani. Yeah. All right, we got some takers down here. All right, Tony Fry, Matt Forns, they're just giving it up. They want those tires. Buckley, Hornbeck, Maury, Joe Archer, Chicken Man. All right, so we're all going to be very close on tires here.
I'm going to have to give the advantage here, though, just a moment. Because if you think about it, he really didn't even run a lap on these tires. By the time he got out of pits, the caution was out. So, he's going to be on the freshest tire. Andrew Kolb got about 4 laps in on his, 4 or 5. Same for Ethan and Greg. If I had to guess who's going to have the advantage out of the front top 5, I must say Malarkey and Angel are probably going to be the fastest one. They just had to pick their spots.
Yeah.
They're going to have to pick their spots, though, because it is going to be fast. Everybody's going to be all out.
Newest rubber, you definitely got to give the advantage to them. 100%.
As long as it's not the old cold tire situation, right? I mean, you're going to have to know that you're just a little bit colder tires than the guys behind you. So sometimes you have to baby them. I don't know if it comes into effect that much at this track, but it definitely at other tracks, cold tires could be a problem.
That's why I'm with Francisco on this, that if you're going to do a late stage like this, at least give it enough laps to, to where the tires can build pressure and you can have some grip and maybe level out a little bit. But, to each his own. We will see what happens here. Forns looks like one of those guys that took 2. Forns, Forns and Buckley, I think, took either fuel only or right sides only. I wish I was paying attention to them.
Yeah, I was watching the Rangers get beat, and I was watching my 5 screens I got going on. A lot going on down here.
Well, you better start paying attention because this is your call, buddy.
Oh man,
You're calling this restart, homie.
I missed the restart before. All right, well, they're on the backstretch. I got some time. The pace car lights are off. So
haven't had hardly any yellows, so I mean, we haven't been cycling around.
This is my one chance to be somebody. I hope I don't ruin it.
Glory for you right now.
Yeah,
hey,
I know.
Albert Anderson's watching. Don't let him down. If you
I never let him down. No.
Crummy play-by-play on the.
Yeah, he'll let me know. So first we got Barkley on the inside. I mean Malarkey. I'm sorry.
As you see her already.
Oh come on, Cobe on the outside. Greg Klein is actually on the outside. Ethan Flanagan's on the inside in row 2. And you have Kewins and Hernandez. So this is where the money's made right here. They come out. Pace car is down in California. We're about to get this thing kicked off, hopefully for the final time on lap 98 out of. Looks like they are restarting this thing while Really good jump. Cole right there with him. Looks like Flanagan is coming to the inside to try to make him. We're about 4 wide coming into turn 1. Wild. Wow. Malarkey really made a good move. Oh, we got somebody turn. Oh, man.
Darnell reckon yellow's out.
Yeah. Well, we kind of knew that was going to happen, didn't we? Aggression comes out at the end of the race. It's like
Earl
McComas got into Darnell there. Ooh.
Here.
What were you saying about Earl? Oh, Earl Evans?
He was in the Zapp's Voodoo Chips
Oh, that's right.
truck last
So
season.
that okay. I remember that one. You loved that truck, Louisiana Chip Company.
Go ahead, Francisco. What do we see there?
I'm gonna say, so Connor definitely left the door open for last. Everybody's gonna be super aggressive. We all know this. He left the door open, but with Steven McComas, I think he could have gone closer to that white line. I think I'm gonna put down both because Connor definitely came down. But if you're gonna send it in like that, you have to stick it to that white line. You can't especially that close.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that on both of them slightly. I'm gonna lean a little more towards 70 on that one.
Well,
Yeah.
and it's a great point because both of these guys got a steering wheel. They both also have a set of pedals. That's kind of how I look at it.
Well, and it's like everything. The front end of your car, that's really the important part of the car, right? So you're really in charge of the front end of your car, and if you hit somebody, even though they're slowing up in front of you, you kind of on you to take care of the front end of your car. But
Exceptions to that, but yeah, I see the point.
looks like old Michelob Gray is getting another lap back on the Lucky Dog. He may actually get back on the lead lap here.
Albert, after watching your play-by-play on that restart, says, Turner, that was the best call on a restart I've ever heard from them. It's
See?
them Fox Sports boys over there ain't got nothing on you.
Thank you, Albert.
Oh, mercy.
That's why.
We need a bigger shovel in here because it's starting to get deep. It really is.
Well, if you want to hear great broadcasting, go listen to Albert's podcast, The Vigilante Report.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Over on SoundCloud.
There you go. So, tit for tat. That's a cool interview. They do cool interviews and cool iRacing stuff. So, Vigilante Report on SoundCloud with Albert Anderson and Josh Bittner. So, there's your plug there, Albert. They have a good time over there.
Sponsor a couple races over here at MDOT, maybe.
Yeah, they really do some fun stuff.
Cool.
And they talk about stuff like the Jonathan Osborne we were talking about earlier and the amazing stuff he did or does racing with as being disabled as he is, and really cool interview with him. So check those guys out. But as we're first green white checker, I don't know. I say let's just assassinate somebody else and let's keep going to the next one. Somebody needs to get turned.
Teammates in the front row here, Francisco. What do you think about that?
At this point, playoffs. If you're able to secure your spot in the next round with a win, teammate out the window.
Turn. Somebody's got to get turned here.
Now, with that being said, everybody that races with me knows I've raced with Angel. Me and him are like buddies. We all race. I race Angel hard 24/7. Like, I don't give him a break, anything like that. He doesn't give me a break. Like, we race each other like no tomorrow, but we also give each other. We know each other. We're able to race each other hard, but respectable, if that makes sense. So that's kind of what I'd expect from the two mates here, is racing each other really hard, but with respect. Angel's in a good position here. This restart, just seeing how it'll go, it will determine kind of how this race is gonna finish.
Well, we'll find out how it finishes. Whose turn is it now, English? Is
I
it
got you covered now.
See if you can top what I did. How about that?
Here we go. The pace car leading them out of turn 4 and down onto the pit lane. Malarkey on the outside line. We do have the choose rule here for the front competitors here on the front row. And Flanagan starting on the inside. Green flag is out. Here we go. Green-white checker time here at California. Malarkey with a pretty good start, but he's got no help behind him. Very solid line forming on the inside line here with Flanagan, Hernandez, Greg Klein right there, the third in line. So now Flanagan will move up in front of his teammate of the 73. We thought this might happen with teammates trying to find each other, but when it comes down to a finish, everything else is out the window, as Francisco put it. Big pack right here behind the leaders, very, very close together and making some contact. Here we go, though. The leaders taking the white flag. This is going to be it.
Records are records.
Next flag ends the race. Flanagan with a pretty hefty lead out in front. 42 of Angel Hernandez looking low, really pressing hard on that right front tire. And here we go, the outside line maintaining that momentum. The 60 of Kewen's diving down. He's looking for a podium tonight. He's trying to take third away from Angel Hernandez, but I'm not sure he's going to be clear. Malarkey dives to the inside of Flanagan for the lead. Here we come to the checkered flag, and it looks like Malarkey's going to not spin the 35. The 35 of Flanagan wins. Malarkey takes second, and it looks like Angel Hernandez is your final podium spot. Great run by Kewen's there in the 60 machine, but he'll end up finishing in fourth. That was a pretty damn exciting green-white checker.
Like I said, I was wondering why Justin Malarkey would take the outside on that restart, but I guess that was a teammate aspect of it. I think it honestly cost them the win, but
yeah,
overall, I mean, they raced each other hard, but with respect, like I said. In turn 3 and 4, he did drift up, and Ethan had to wiggle just to kind of avoid the contact. But that was a really good finish, and that just shows like kind of how the green white checkered racing is supposed to go. Exciting but clean.
Who just finished in reverse?
Derek Schimmel, Gary Sack push. Gary Sack pushing Derek Schimmel across the line.
Derek's had no forward gear is what he was saying, but yeah, I mean, that's a team aspect. Somebody's got to be the shake and somebody's got to be the bake. It looked like Malarkey ended up being the bake on that deal. But Kewen's had a good run at the end. I thought he might have been able to squeeze it out from Angel, but Angel just had too much. And I thought Angel also had a good run at the, first place there. And probably coming out of turn 2, I think he lost a little momentum.
Angel was
overall good race by Angel.
Angel was in a really good position. Just I feel like what got him was the fact that the outside, the guys on the right against the wall had the draft, and the momentum it's too dominant. It's extremely hard. He would have to side draft them and have the help from behind, basically pushing them as if it's a super speed to kind of keep up, and he would have to dive bomb into to have a shot at winning there. But overall, that was a really good finish.
Well, we also want to congratulate Albert Anderson on Facebook for being our fan of the race. M. Cup Series does fan of the race, at least on the weeks that we can all get together and do this.
What does he get for that?
I don't know what he gets.
Oh, he should get something.
He's getting a shout out from us.
Well, he needs to get some kind of prize. I mean,
we have to talk to the boss man and see, because I think they are going to do like a drawing or something for these guys
at the end of the season.
Yeah, I think so.
Here's a coffee mug or something at minimum. All right, we got some of these guys down in the Podium Finishers channel if we want to talk to one of them here. I don't know who you want to talk to first. I would guess Angel in third place. I can bring him up. Y'all can bring him up. Don't matter.
I got him. Y'all ready?
I'm ready.
Hey, Angel. It's the guys up at the broadcast booth. You got us?
Yep.
Alrighty. So, green, white, checker. What was your mindset on that restart?
Just with the aggression, a bit of just trying to survive, and then also trying to just salvage the top 3 at least. Because I know at the end there, I knew that Malarkey had either an even or a little bit more pace than me on those short runs. And then obviously Flanagan, he's gonna try and go for it. So it was literally just trying to make the most of what I could. If the win was there, I would have taken it.
Yeah, we did talk to Francisco quite a bit in the booth tonight about long run car versus short run car. You almost had to have a long run car for the first 90 something laps of this race, and then kind of change modes right there at the end, and really set yourself up to really abuse those tires and do what you have to do to get up there and try to get a podium or a win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't particularly like the 2-lap shootout at the end. I think it's kind of unfair to the people who did have a long run car. But either way, we can't change it right now. So, I mean, we had to do what we had. Well, deal with what we had. So, yeah, it's just a lot of trying to make the most of the car out of the short run. I know I was set up for long run mainly, and just with the setup that we can change. Yeah, obviously at the end there, I was kind of stuck there between the cars behind and cars in front.
Yeah, no, we had I had the same question. Why are we doing this at this point in the race for the final stage? But that's not my call or any of ours. So it was kind of fun to see a shootout. It's kind of like overtime times 2, so it makes it fun for people watching. I know probably frustrating for you as a driver, but I thought you had a pretty good run coming out of turn 2 there on the final lap. You just couldn't put it together. But overall, man, you had a heck of a race. Stayed in there, stayed out. Congratulations, you got shout outs, right?
Yep.
Righty.
Say
Who's
we
Heck.
pull our second place guy up.
The inside.
Hey, Justin Malarkey, you got a copy on us? It's the guys in the booth.
Hey, I do. How are you?
Good, man. Talk us through that finish, man. It was pretty damn wild, but we kind of thought it would be with the really, really late stage break there and the difference in tires.
Yeah, the 2-lap shootout, that was kind of not the most fun for drivers. But yeah, it was definitely Ethan got a really good restart. 42 got a really nice restart with him. Nice push, and yeah, it was super clean between the 3 of us there at the end, and I was on the bottom and I couldn't slide up anymore without sliding into him, and we'd both be wrecking. So it was almost a shootout to the finish line between us. It was close. It was good.
Was there a lot of communication between you and Ethan there? Because it seems like you kind of held the front, but at some point you kind of started racing each other too.
At the end, like for the 2-lap shootout.
Yeah, at the end there.
He beat me into turns 1 and 2 and had the inside, had the shorter distance, and was able to clear us coming out of the corner. And then I had to run down the straightaway with the little bit longer turn radius, build up the speed a little bit there, and I just couldn't get back to his inside on that first lap because there was a car to my inside. So I had to wait till the second lap, and I knew in 3 and 4 is where I wanted to make the move to the bottom, and I was even with them, but I just couldn't hold it down there on that slippery surface any longer.
Well, I mean, that's a heck of a run. That's great for the playoffs. You got your pretty damn good spot. Not to win, but you got any shout outs or anything that before I let you go?
Yeah, thanks for you guys for broadcasting, and Isaac for getting the team. All of us were running really good tonight, and shout out to my dad. He was helping me landscape all day, and he's pretty tired. I'm tired, and I think we're all gonna go sleep now.
Awesome, man. Good job.
Thank you.
And here comes our winner. Ethan Flanagan is the guys in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Go ahead, Francisco. I stepped on you a minute ago.
Well, Ethan, what was your mindset on that restart? On the
Honestly,
shootout?
oh, go ahead. Well, basically, I'm I can't really speak right now. I was just gonna try and survive from second place. I mean, I know I didn't really have the preferred line on the restart, but I knew I had Angel behind me. So, yeah, I, I was just gonna try and do what I could. If I had the track position off too, I was gonna take it and run with it, and that's what happened. And basically, yeah, that was my mindset, and I was pretty silent for those last 2 laps. I was just focusing and focusing. I've never had more focus than that, to be honest.
Well, we talked a little bit about, earlier in the season about what's going to happen next week or next season rather, with the M. Cup Series, whether or not they're going to go to the next gen car. Do you have an opinion either way? And do you think that would have affected any of the action that maybe was on the track tonight?
Obviously, with the next gen car, it would have been 670 package, so it'd be like the Xfinity cars in terms of speeds, but it would be like the 750 package in terms of you know, runs and stuff, and how those are generated. But speaking of things that the league is doing next season, I would like to iterate that maybe having a 2-lap shootout at the end wasn't the smartest idea. I mean, I know I'm saying that and I want it, but I don't know. It kind of seemed a little weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it felt a little like overtime or something like that. But no, you can't change it. You actually won, so you're on to the next round. So it makes it a little easier for next week. What are you thinking about Rockingham? Because that's a totally different track than you got here at the club.
What am I thinking of? Rockingham? I want to win it.
All right. Well, you already won this one, so you're on the next round. So the pressure's off. So congrats, man. You got any shout outs, anything like that?
Oh, yeah, of course. My sponsor, they've been with me since April. Yeah, April last year. F2ER, Beta CO2, CD Keys. That I don't know. They're great supporters. They're like, oh yeah, you're gonna win a race. I'm like, okay, and here I am.
Well, it was well earned, and congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, y'all. I also have to thank Isaac for letting me race in Cup, and couldn't appreciate that, as much as I do. I like, yeah, just happy to win tonight.
Good deal, man.
Sweet. Man, it was a clean race. Could have been a lot worse. Decent field. But overall, I thought we saw some pretty good racing.
Yeah, it was. It seemed like a lot of the drivers kind of felt the same way we did about the stages. But overall, I mean, it was a really clean race, and honestly, I felt like if the stages were a little stretched out to maybe even 10, 15 laps, we would have seen that aggression on that final restart, and it would have made an even. I mean, the finish was amazing. Don't get me wrong. It would have made it even crazier. But I mean, overall, it was a really good race, really clean racing. Everybody was actually patient.
Yeah. I mean, I think even the drivers mentioned it. Having a stage that close to the end is kind of probably something to rethink, maybe. But everybody was in the same race, so it affected everyone the same. So it's not like it was unfair or anything. It just was the way it was tonight.
Yeah, a lot of opinions out there for it. Let's say we go down our finishing order here.
Please do.
You guys are ready? Ethan Flanagan takes the win tonight in the 35 machine, starting in 8th place and working his way up and making that great finish. His teammate in the 73, Justin Malarkey, very dominant tonight, the 73 was, but by what 400ths of a second, he'll be in 2nd place tonight. A little bit farther back, Angel Hernandez in the 42 rounds out your podium. The 60 of Alan Kewins of Angry Idiots, I'm sorry, doing the best effort. Man, he tried his best to get up there and snag a podium, but not quite enough there. But he'll start in 10th and finish in 4th tonight, which is a pretty great finish. The 92 of Klein started outside row 1 in 2nd place, and he'll round out your top 5. Andrew Coe, very strong late in the race, led quite a few laps, and just didn't have it right there at the end, finishing in 6th place. Tony Fry, same kind of situation. Very, very fast race car all night tonight. The 6 Viagra car of Tony Fry, but he'll finish in 7th place. Stephen Comas in the 70, finishing in 8th. Matt Forns in the 10 machine, finishing in 9th, and rounding out your top 10, Taver Mowry in the 5.
Yeah, the 56, Joe Archer, the chicken man from Canada, ended up 11th. I was actually multitasking, looking at some of the chicken videos. Farmer Joe's chicken page. That guy's got some cool stuff. Check him out, Joe Archer. Made it there 11th. 97 of Connor Darnell, ended up 12th. 84 of Mike Hornbeck, ended up 13th. 110, Richard Michelob Gray. I can't say this enough. The oldest man in iRacing, the lead lap in 14th. 96 of Derek Schimmel. His wife owns a Kitschy Kitchen Shop, who's the sponsor of tonight's race. Kitschy Kitchen Shop on Etsy. Check that out. He ended up 15th. 26, Michael Buckley, 16th. 89, Gary Sack, the 3rd, from Michigan, ended up 17th. And that's going to round it out tonight, guys.
Overall, I mean, it was a really good race. We had a blast broadcasting for you all. I mean, honestly, this race went by really quick. I think y'all can agree with me on that.
No, it was fun. We didn't have too many crazy cautions. I think Midwest Days of Thunder puts on a good show, and y'all need to check them out if you're into, looking for a new league or something. Midwest Days of Thunder, you can go it's progressive style. You start at the bottom, trucks, ARC, then you can work your way to Xfinity and the Cup if you want. I also like to thank Kitschy Kitchen Shop on Etsy for sponsoring this thing. But man, I had a lot of fun, guys. Ready? Glad it's over. It's Friday night. Time to kind of sit back and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Heck yeah, man. Let's shut this thing down.
All right. Well, I don't know what you have to say, guys, but I want to thank both of y'all for being here with me. Francisco Villarreal, Alan English. I think we need to knock this thing out. I'm Adam Turner. See ya.